Hello and welcome to another edition of the FlixList. Today we are talking about the best alien movies of all time, or at least my favorite. So stay tuned to see a very controversial list. Hey everyone and welcome back to the FlixList. I am Nathan and this is the special YouTube segment where I give you my favorite movies of all time. Usually it has something to do with the movie coming out, and this week we're talking about Men in Black International. No, we're not going to talk about if we think that this movie should exist or why it exists and why it's coming out and does this even need to be a thing. No, we're going to do a lot more controversy, and that's going to be my list of my favorite alien movies. Now, little bit of preface. I know people are going to be mad at me. I know my editor's going to yell at me because I'm probably going to leave some stuff out. So I'm not going to rank them. That's not going to be the top 5. This is just going to be the 5 best. The 5 best. You ready? All right. Here we go. So we're going to start with 2001: A Space Odyssey. I love this movie. It's classic. No one's going to yell at me because, yes, I'm right. This is outstanding. It's Stanley Kubrick. It's incredible filmmaking. I always tell people, the first time I saw this movie, I was probably like 17 years old. And for some reason, I was just in the mood for it. I was just ready to see some weird stuff that didn't really make sense, some cool visuals because people told me this was incredible. And you know what? It caught me at the right time. It's wonderful. It's an outstanding filmmaking. It doesn't even make sense that something like this could have happened when it did. Kubrick was a genius. The visuals, the special effects, the storyline, how it's saying a lot more than it really is just incredible. And this is a movie that should be taught in every single film school. It should go down in history for being as incredible as it actually is. So yes, next one, we're going to go with Contact. Contact is brilliant. I love this movie. It came out in 1997. Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey being awesome. This movie messed with me as a kid. I remember seeing this film in the drive-in, looking up at the stars, like wondering about my existential being, who was out there, what was going to happen. It's so good. Based on the Carl Sagan novel, this movie is very slow-paced. It's very kind of questioning about our existence and time and dealing with like science in a very like intense educational light, but also taking really big choices with wormholes and reaching out. I love it. It's so good. In my opinion, it's really stood the test of time. Jodie Foster is one of the best actresses out there. Contact. It's so good. Next one, we're going to go with a movie that I think is very, very similar, that almost came out 20 years after. That is Arrival. This movie is incredible. Denis Villeneuve, however you say his name, is one of the greatest directors working today. There's amount of scope from doing Sicario to Arrival to Blade Runner. This guy has an incredible handle on his style, visual, how he uses sound. This movie is amazing. Jeremy Renner is outstanding in it. Amy Adams should have been nominated for an Oscar. She probably should have won. She's brilliant and incredible, and I love her. And this movie is so good because it takes something that's really not that scary. Like they don't make the aliens terrifying. They don't have this imminent threat of this danger of explosions, but it's just like very like much plotting and kind of focuses on the relationship, and just the use of the sound and the tension is enough to carry it over. It's so good. It's masterclass filmmaking. I absolutely love it. It's one of the best movies that came out that year. It actually was my favorite movie of 2016, and it's outstanding. Okay, next movie is going to make some people mad because it's not Ridley Scott directed. It is Independence Day. I love this movie, and later on this month I get to write about this movie for FlixList. This movie is the most revolutionary film, I think, of the last 20 years. Wow, bold statement, Nathan, because it created the mega blockbuster. It was what so many movies have tried to be since then. Usually, the director He's not very good, whether if it's 2012 or Day the Earth Stood Still. He didn't really get there, but this one got there. And why? Because of Will Smith. Because Will Smith was the coolest person in the world. Harry Connick Jr., almost as cool. The action scenes were incredible. We had never seen something like that, with the White House blowing up and people just disintegrating in the ashes, and that scene in Times Square where all the cars are parked and they're out looking and then it comes. It was terrifying. And as a child, I'd never seen anything like it before. And it blew my mind. And it really kind of set the tone for what so many mega films have become since then. So I know it's not brilliant. I know it's not Alien. I know it's not Close Encounters, but it is what it is. And it became so revolutionary and changed how film was for forever. So sorry. And my last one, we're going with E.T., the extraterrestrial. This movie had such an impact on my childhood. It really kind of taught me how my imagination and thinking beyond just the surface of the world I was standing on, and like the value of friendship. And it's beautiful. I absolutely love this movie. If I could like request any sequel to any movie ever, I think it would be E.T. Like I've always wanted to, like, let's do E.T. It's been 40 years. Like, let's see where they are now. Let's go. Like, let's make this movie incredible. I want to see them grown up. I want E.T. to come back. Like, we've got obviously the technology to make it look even better. E.T. is wonderful because it's Spielberg at his peak. He's dealing with that childhood innocence. You're dealing with that science fiction kind of elements that he really knows how to handle. You also have like a clear conflict. It's such good filmmaking. I love it. All right. There's your controversial list. I can't wait to turn this into my editor and have him yell at me for not including anything by Ridley Scott and just not. Yeah. But you know what? I stand by it. And these are 5 great films, and you cannot argue with me on that. You know what? I have a feeling isn't going to be included on here? Men in Black International, but who knows? You know, Thor Ragnarok with aliens could be great. I love Tessa Thompson. I think Chris Hemsworth is really, really good. I'm not sure why this is a thing. But yes, this has been the FlixList. I am Nathan, and I'll catch you guys next week.